Impacts of changing precipitation on hydrological processes in different types of drainage basins. Climate change is now widely accepted as one of the biggest global challenges, influencing not only temperatures but also how water moves through the environment. Around the world, patterns of rainfall and snowfall, known collectively as precipitation, are changing. These shifts affect rivers, lakes, groundwater, and even the timing of floods and droughts. Precipitation changes can vary by region. Some areas are becoming wetter, while others are drying out. These changes have strong effects on drainage basins, the land areas where all the water that falls eventually drains into a river or lake. The way a drainage basin reacts to changing precipitation depends on its climate, geology, vegetation, and human activity. Scientists are studying these systems to predict how rainfall changes might affect river flow, groundwater levels, and overall water balance in places such as deserts, temperate plains, rainforests, and mountains. It's important to remember, though, that these predictions are based on models and past data. While they give useful clues, they may not perfectly match what happens in the future because climate systems are very complex. A short poem follows. Streams and Rivers. Through meadows green the rivers run, like veins that pulse beneath the sun. Even in the dull gloom they gleam, a symbol of life's endless dream. The streams like laughter gaily glide, with bubbling joy they twist and bide, their silver tongues a song to share, in every twist a memory's snare. The rivers flow with purpose true, in currents strong their path they hew, through valleys deep and canyons wide, waterfalls and meanders bend they glide. Their waters whisper tales untold of lands afar and stories bold. From humble springs to oceans grand, they journey on from land to land. In banks of green the waters play, with gentle touch they softly sway, the dance of ripples, life's refrain, in every drop a world's domain. So let us cherish streams and rivers, important for all mankind's endeavors, as nature's course they chart their way, a timeless flow that will not sway. Key hydrological processes affected by changing rainfall. Infiltration. This is how quickly water soaks into the soil. When rainfall increases, the soil can become saturated, preventing more water from soaking in and leading to more surface runoff. Surface runoff. This is water flowing across the land into rivers or streams after heavy rain. When precipitation rises, runoff usually increases, raising the risk of floods and soil erosion. Groundwater recharge. This process replenishes underground aquifers that store water. When rainfall is reduced, less water seeps in to refill these underground reserves, which can lead to falling water tables and shortages. On the rare occasions when rainfall rises, aquifers might recharge a little more, but only if the rain falls slowly enough for infiltration to occur, rather than instantly running off. Evaporation and transpiration. Together, these are called evapotranspiration, the loss of water to the atmosphere from lakes, rivers, and plants. As temperatures rise and rainfall shifts, evapotranspiration may speed up, drying soils and reducing available water for rivers and crops. Arid and semi-arid drainage basins, e.g. Tigris-Euphrates Basin. Deserts and semi-desert areas receive very little rainfall, so water systems there are naturally fragile. A small change in precipitation can create major consequences. Runoff. In these regions, evaporation removes most of the limited rainwater before it can form streams. If rainfall suddenly increases, especially as short, intense storms, it can create flash floods that reshape landscapes and damage infrastructure. But if rainfall decreases, the opposite happens. Rivers dry faster, and both plants and people face worse water scarcity. Groundwater recharge. With less rain, water rarely penetrates deep into the ground. Reduced precipitation means less opportunities for groundwater to renew, putting pressure on aquifers that communities rely on. On the rare occasions when rainfall rises, aquifers might recharge a little more, but only if the rain falls slowly enough for infiltration to occur, rather than instantly running off. Temperate drainage basins, e.g., Mississippi Basin. Temperate regions, like much of North America and Europe, usually enjoy moderate rainfall spread fairly evenly throughout the year, although seasons still influence water flow. Runoff and stream flow. Warmer winters might cause more precipitation to fall as rain rather than snow. This would increase river discharge during winter, but reduce flows in spring when snowmelt usually occurs. Such changes could affect irrigation, drinking water supply, and habitats that depend on steady seasonal flows. Flooding. The Mississippi River, for example, already has one of the world's most engineered flood control systems. If future winters bring more rain, flood risks could rise, especially if temperatures also climb, causing more evaporation in summer and unpredictable seasonal flows. Flood management systems may need major updates to handle new rainfall patterns. Groundwater recharge. Since most recharge occurs in cool, wet months, reduced snowfall can lessen snowmelt infiltration, especially in mountainous, temperate areas. This might mean less groundwater is available during hot, dry summers. Tropical drainage basins, e.g., Amazon Basin. Tropical regions receive high rainfall, often in short bursts during wet seasons. These areas include dense forests such as the Amazon, where water cycles between the land, plants, and atmosphere are extremely active. Runoff. When precipitation increases, heavy tropical storms can cause widespread flooding, erosion, and sediment buildup in rivers. These changes degrade water quality and disrupt aquatic habitats. When rainfall is reduced, long dry periods can follow, lowering river levels and reducing fresh water for people and wildlife. Groundwater recharge. Soils in tropical areas vary, from porous sands that allow rain to soak in easily to dense clays that make infiltration difficult. While more rain can increase groundwater recharge, very heavy storms cause too much surface runoff, limiting the water that enters the soil. If some parts of the Amazon truly lose up to 50% of their rainfall, researchers warn that both the river discharge and the rainforest ecosystem itself could change drastically. The forest may thin or shift towards savanna vegetation, which would then reduce local rainfall even further, a worrying feedback loop. Mountainous drainage basins, e.g., Yukon Basin. Mountains are often called the water towers of the planet because they store snow and ice that feed rivers throughout the year. Snowmelt and stream flow. Rising temperatures cause a shift from snow to rain. This means snowpacks melt earlier, sending more water into rivers in winter and less in summer, when people and crops most need it. Reduced summer flows could hurt agriculture, hydropower generation, and ecosystems that depend on steady seasonal flows. Flooding and landslides. When heavy rain falls on steep slopes or melting snow, it can trigger floods or landslides that endanger communities below. These sudden events can destroy homes, transportation, and hydroelectric systems that depend on steady water flow. Smaller-scale drainage basins. In smaller basins, local factors play a bigger role in how rainfall changes affect hydrology. Urban basins. Cities have many hard surfaces, so water cannot soak into the ground.
Rain quickly becomes runoff, often overwhelming drains and increasing flood risks. Heat islands, caused by buildings trapping warmth, can also increase evaporation, reducing groundwater recharge. Agricultural basins. Farmers depend on predictable rain. Changes in timing or intensity affect crop growth and irrigation needs. Heavy rains can wash away topsoil and nutrients, lowering soil fertility. Forest basins. Forests slow runoff and help water infiltrate the ground. If rainfall decreases, forests may dry out and become more prone to fire wills. If rainfall increases too much, soil erosion and tree stress may occur.
Glaciarized basins. In areas where glaciers feed rivers, melting ice initially increases water flow. Over time, however, as glaciers shrink, the total water supply can fall, threatening both people and ecosystems downstream. In conclusion, changing precipitation is reshaping how water moves through the Earth's many drainage basins. Each environment, arid, temperate, tropical, or mountainous, responds differently depending on its natural features and human pressures. Some places may face more floods, while others may struggle with droughts and groundwater loss. Learning how these systems react helps scientists, governments, and communities plan better water management strategies to adapt to climate change. Although future patterns remain uncertain, understanding current trends is key to protecting ecosystems and maintaining reliable water resources for generations to come. Thank you for listening to this Geography Expert podcast. You can find access to all my free resources through my website, www.richiecunningham.com, including links to my Geography Expert Substack and podcasts.